And welcome to all of those of you who are first timers who are here. And I believe we are more than 80% would be that way. For a beautiful journey to recognize by the time we finish the 40 days that we are nothing less than infinite, powerful, loving being. That we fundamentally create our reality all the time through our own thoughts and feelings. That we have tools and methods to reprogram the way we think and feel so that we can create a greater future for ourselves every day. That we completely get inspired to take this method of meditation to everyone that we touch in our daily lives. Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation is a non-profit foundation primarily inspired and started through a grand master called Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji. Vision of introducing meditation to several leaders and aspiring leaders. Aspiring leaders would mean practically a broad spectrum of entrepreneurs, graduating students, everybody who is looking to transform or contribute to the communities around. So we are a group of individuals who are looking to introduce meditation-based scientific meditation wisdom for personal transformation, and from there get inspired to inculcate a socio-spiritual responsibility. But those are secondary, those would happen. Our primary goal is to get transformation. So while meditation is not new, or many of us have heard about the word meditation, in this 40 days, we will understand this process of meditation, how meditation is helping us in various dimensions. Because we heard this holistic wealth, we keep hearing this holistic wealth, alternate wellness methodologies. So we can apply and say how meditation is helping in all the dimensions of our personal life. I'm Chandra Pulamarasetti. I learned meditation in the year 1999. I'm a computer scientist, computer engineer, did my studies in BITS Pilani, and then several IT roles, IT jobs, worked in the US for about 10 years, but otherwise most of the time in Bangalore, live in Bangalore, India. So I learned meditation early on. 99 I learned, but it took me 3 years. I learned meditation through my younger brother. He was a medical doctor, Dr. GK. And he's very young, much younger before me that time. I learned at the age of 30. But it took me 3 years to understand and then go deep into meditation. So in the year 2002, after having interactions, an interesting encounter with Brahmarshi Patriji, was the founder of Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement, where several people are following him in those days. And then a medical doctor talking about meditation, healing ourselves through meditation. So that was intriguing me. And so I took to meditation in the year 2002. I went deep inside for about 2 months, where I practiced longer meditations. And then I also read several books during that time, and then understood that happiness or sadness, suffering or success or failure, happiness or sadness, they're all really inside us. Suffering is due to individual ignorance was a Gautam Buddha statement which was taking. It took me those 2 months to understand that yes, many of it is really with us. So since then my life has been wonderfully great. I could heal myself significantly, feel more confident, and then I applied these techniques in my entire business too, during the rest of my career, where I had co-founded a company along with a few founders, then had a successful exit and outcome for the business, and then suddenly been practicing and participating in several meditation service activities since that time, during the last 20 years, including notably the participation in the an international meditation center called Pyramid Valley International, which is a meditation center outskirts of Bangalore, where we teach meditation and spiritual science for anyone and everyone who come there. So it's been a wonderful journey to be part, and then this idea of wanting to teach to the business leaders has been there brewing for some time, and then we started the foundation, well, officially recently, but however, been doing the activities for over about 8 months. Much more intensified in the last 5 months, significantly, with significant help from and push and encouragement from Karthikeyan sir, from SVB sir, and certainly, most certainly, Ramani sir, and many others. So I request we will, during this process, we will listen in to some of the leaders' quick messages, and then today we will understand the process of meditation, and then we'll go into meditation. Every day we'll be meditating during these 40 days for about 45 minutes. Today may be slightly lesser, being the introductory day. But for about 45 minutes we'll meditate every day. Our goal is to give maximum emphasis for the practice and everything around the practice. And our goal is to provide as much scientific wisdom as possible, so that the more we understand scientifically how the process works, the more we can apply it in our daily life. So during these 20 years, I understood that meditation is helping us grow in these 4 areas of life: physical vitality, radiant health, heightened energy in the body. So physical vitality, so increased passion for life. Many who had some kind of physical issue, who felt the drain by the end of the day when they're going to work. Afternoon, you can't drag yourself to the various meetings if people are feeling that way. So then when we meditate, in about 6 weeks of practice, we gain that excellent physical vitality, lots of healings, and that energy throughout the day to maintain, and then we become more passionate about life again. So something that we keep experiencing it. Then there is significant intelligence quotient enhancement, the memory powers of various kinds, which makes us feel like participating in life more, makes us feel like taking new initiatives and become more and more successful. Many participants have said that. Many participants have said that, okay, they're becoming a lot more productive, a lot more successful. They're able to create things, they're able to do things, they're able to have that confidence to go and then do stuff, because you're fundamentally, whatever we thought that I'm limited in mind, I'm limited in my aptitude, I'm limited in capabilities, is now changed forever through 6 weeks of meditation, 40 days of meditation. Meditation absolutely is increasing the emotional well-being. The first thing that is noticed is emotional well-being. So the emotional quotient is significantly enhanced with a lot of self-awareness that is developed, or the mindfulness that is developed through meditation, so that we are able to make great friends and then celebrate life, something that we consistently see. And meditation is increasing as a greater spiritual understanding. In my 20 years, over a period, as I studied, now initially spiritual science, but most recently understanding the same through quantum physics or neuroscience, it becomes abundantly clear that we are all absolutely, deep inside, we're all connected and one. And so understanding that spiritual quotient to expanding our horizon, for many people in this room, becomes natural to help others. But understanding the spiritual quotient scientifically, and hence we are so connected that we're expanding, and then gain that fulfillment through service. So these are the various benefits of physical vitality, increased memory, intelligence, intelligent quotient, emotional quotient, spiritual quotient, and many more. It's very, very holistic, that we will understand each of those during the next 6 weeks. The program by itself we've got a lot of touch points, because 40 days is a long time. We've got a lot of touch points. So I'll explain the touch points about what happens during the 6 weeks so you understand a little bit of this, and then we'll learn over a period as we go along. So before we kick off this program, I request Sri Karthikeyan sir to we'll listen in from Karthikeyan sir as soon as the meditation is over. So request SVB sir to give his initial message. Sir, you have to unmute yourself.
Good morning to all the participants.
Sir, so Dr. S.V. Balasubramaniam ji is the founder chairman of Bannari Amman group of companies, very successful industrialist. At the same time, sir runs several non-profits in doing various service activities. That's very, very brief, but otherwise been a very successful meditative industrialist who has been generously contributing to the communities. So thank you for joining.
Good morning to all the participants. I am sure that you have taken the right decision joining this meditation program. I also joined 4 months back at the Institute of Sri Karthikeyan ji, and I have completed 2 series of the 40 days program, joining the third also now. The benefits that you will get out of this meditation program is innumerable, both physically and mentally. The participants who have participated, who have benefited, if you hear their stories, you will be really astonished whether it is possible by doing this meditation, we will permanently cure your physical problems. At the same time, your life is going to be something different from what it was previously. But one thing I would suggest is don't break these 40 days. Maybe 1 or 2 days in bed. Continuously don't break it, because continuity is very important. These 40 days, you can't just learn it on 1 or 2 days or 3 days or 1 week. It requires, even for Mr. Sandraji, it took about 3 years, he said, But he developed the system in such a way, in 40 days, we can become the master of the meditation. In the meanwhile, he will also suggest a number of books which will be very, very useful. And he'll give you the tools and methods to acquire yourself, that you will be able to achieve whatever you want by the manifestation method, which you will get it to know at the end of the program. And it is really a scientific meditation wisdom program. And this month is September, is for the celebrating the Teachers' Day. Mr. Chandra is the teacher for many of us, many of you also. Therefore, let me congratulate Mr. Chandra for undertaking this program. He has been a very successful entrepreneur in technology, and same time he has been able to sell this technology to IBM, which is not that easy to sell the technology to IBM. That means you will know how big, how intelligent, how wisdom-oriented person is Mr. Chandraji. He is going to give us a different system, a different method of tools and other things to achieve the best in our life. I wish all the participants a very interesting. It is not that it is boring. It is going to be very interesting. The pre-meditation, post-meditation, his commentary is very, very important. Therefore, don't leave it. Please go through that. You will be able to really going to achieve something which you have never done in your previous periods of your life. With this, I wish to congratulate all the participants for joining this program. Thank you, Mr. Chandra.
Thank you so much, sir. It's fun, wonderful. Your words can certainly inspire. So thank you for those words on meditation and the power of meditation. That's great. And may I request Padma Shri, Dr. Ramani sir, the founder, managing trustee of Shankarai Foundation, who has been selflessly for the last 40 plus years, conceiving this idea of giving eye care to the poor, unaffordable, and then continuing that at a very young age to speak on this, and then made this very, very successful, globally known name, and a non-profit, but can be run very professionally and then provide the most best quality service. And of course, it is supported by, as a chairman, Sri SVB sir too. So Ramani sir, can we have your message to our participants?
Hearty congratulations, Chandra and Vani, for yet another session which you are starting today. Friends, I congratulate every one of you who have taken the interest, the time to participate in this. For me, it was Sri DRK sir, SVB sir, and then Balasundaram who were instrumental in me getting into this meditation program. What I can tell you is Chandra has made it so simple and it is so practical, very logical and practical, very feasible. He has made this Anapasapanasati, the way he explains, the way he tells every one of us to follow it. I think it is so simple. We are able to not only absorb the essence of it. He mentioned the physical quotient, the emotional quotient, and the spiritual quotient. This helps us to make our life a kind of a wholesome life. One word of this thing, the first 1 week, only when you keep on continuing, then you will know the depth of the program. Just by 1 or 2 sessions, you may or may not. Continue for a couple of weeks, then you will know the depth of the thing. You start enjoying it. Then you start talking to your friends. Let more and more people benefit out of this. The very reason this Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation has been established by Chandra and Vani is primarily to see that let this, as often DRK says, Yam Petra Inbam Ivayam Perga. Let everyone benefit out of what we have experienced. So we all have experienced this in the last 2 sessions. That has brought us again. So nice to see many more people joining this, like-minded people. Welcome to this session. Please enjoy, and I'm sure you will feel totally convinced about this and also reap the benefits of this wonderful program, meditation. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Ramani sir. Ramani sir to me means consistency and quality and vision in whatever we do, we take up. And it's been very, very thorough. It's been so helpful in taking this foundation started off in a significant way. So thank you so much, Ramani sir. And then most importantly, your message, your message on the power of meditation. And all participants have joined for 6 weeks. And then when we stay through, usually a week to 2 weeks, then we experience meditation. Then at the end of 3-4 weeks, then we're seeing a significant amount of benefits for many people. And by 6 weeks, we cement it strongly. 6 weeks, scientifically, to make anything a habit, the research has shown that anywhere between 6 to 12 weeks, depending on what we are making it a habit. Of course, some take longer. But meditation is only requires about exactly 6 weeks. Most of the time, for most people, 6 weeks is where we are making it a real good habit, and then we're able to run with it. So that's what we're doing for 40 days, dear friends. And we were listening to Padma Shri D.R. Karthikeyan's message as soon as we finished meditation, because Sir has been so strongly been supportive far and wide. In every bit of way, this program is as much as it is Sar's program too. So we're listening to Sar's message, important message after the meditation. And then we have more. I welcome all the group from the St. Louis. Mr. Surendra ji will briefly listen from him after the meditation is over, who is the president for St. Louis Telugu Association. I believe more than 100 or 120 people from there have joined this program. And hearty congratulations to you. And I certainly want to thank everybody who has been taking this to many of your colleagues and friends. When we look at any corporate setting, whether it is Google, whether it is IBM, whether it is SAP, or Aethna, or many companies around the world, including several Indian companies which are the IT companies or otherwise, Tatas, and everywhere there is this concept of the mindfulness practices have been introduced across the board. There are courses for individuals, there are courses for employees, there are groups coming together and then meditating together. So meditation, mindfulness has been there now quite well accepted. The story of Steve Jobs always carrying this book called Autobiography of Yogi. And then he attributing a lot of his success to meditative practices, going within, deep within. Salesforce, Mark Benioff is one of the initial technologists who is sort of changed the game in the world, in the IT industry, of introducing this concept of cloud. So he's the entire company, he's always used meditation from day one, and then meditative rooms in the companies. So meditation is there in several organizations. It is not a taboo. There are two words, meditation and mindfulness. Mindfulness is being present moment aware, non-judgmentally in the current moment. Non-judgmentally being present moment aware in whatever we do in the current moment. Whereas meditation is about understanding ourselves. Meditation is not mindfulness alone. Meditation is understanding deep inside, who are we? What are my powers? What are my capabilities? Is my life all about what I am doing today? Study, earn something, do a job, do some projects, raise kids, and then retire and then over. Is that all it is? Is there something more? Is there deeper meaning? If all experiences are about enjoyment, if all experiences are about experiencing something new so that we could get some newer happiness, and then friends, we're going to learn through many ways how meditation, this process, is actually going to create significant amount of newer and experience in our life. To gain that newer happiness. So meditation is a process to understand oneself, and meditation is naturally giving mindfulness as a core benefit. Mindfulness is to be mindful of a given activity fully of that activity only for a given duration, whereas meditation is to completely empty the mind for a given duration. They're totally two opposite things. We want to empty the mind completely in the process of meditation to understand self, and we will understand this scientifically as we go along, how the process is helping us. So when we empty our mind, then we are experiencing something deeper inside of us. According to quantum physics, we're all deep inside at subatomic particle level. We are totally empty. More than 99.9999% empty inside at subatomic particle level. It's proven. It's written now for the last 90 years of research. So we are deep inside, we are empty. That emptiness is nothing filled with energy which is, that emptiness is filled with energy which is nothing but information at a high frequency traveling beyond speed of light. We are only 0.01% matter. But however, our entire wakeful reality, all our attention is on the matter. It has a significance of creating a meaningful life. So when in meditation, when we are emptying ourselves, that means we're emptying the thoughts in our mind, because we are essentially defined by our thoughts, memories, and feelings, and that's what we are defined with. As every thought, every memory is nothing but a set of experiences in life, set of events in life. Every thought, every memory is a set of events in life. So in meditation, we empty the mind. So we withdraw all the thoughts. We take away all the thoughts. We take out empty, empty, empty. When we take that when we empty the mind, empty of all thoughts, then slowly we're withdrawing the attention of our matter, of that physical body, physical life, this whole outer reality. And when we do that, then we really experience deep inside what we truly are. And that is that emptiness, that energy. So in meditation, many people experience various kind of sensations of the body, or various experiences of visions, or energy, or floating, or lightness and heaviness, and various things which are considered energy experiences. So our goal during the next 40 days is to understand this technique and practice this technique as much as possible, so that we start experiencing something. We start understanding ourselves by experiencing that there is more than the body. And when we do that, in the journey of meditation, as we are going from a full body consciousness to a completely energy conscious, as we are walking the path step by step, various benefits automatically start coming in along the way. As we empty our mind, where 95% are redundant thoughts, 80% are negative thoughts, when we empty our mind slowly, first thing we recognize is that we become emotionally stable, balanced. We recognize that we're taking away stress completely, so we start gaining that health, because the thoughts have come down. Then slowly, as we are meditating more, we recognize that we start learning more. We develop the ability to learn more. Whatever we're doing becoming easy to learn. And then we start changing our thought pattern to something more positive, miraculous. So we start seeing a lot of synchronicities in our life. As we go along further, then we start experiencing these deeper, larger states of happiness. Whatever that you've been heard about in the past, in your childhood or in the recently, that moksha or bliss or enlightened state of the happiness deep inside, all of those states that many people experience as we go along. Everything is for increased level of happiness. So we'll see that, dear friends. So for this, I would like to introduce the technique, and let's meditate for some time, and then we talk some more about this program and concept. Every day we're going to do this for 1.5 hours. About 5-10 minutes of initial warm-up, and then we do a meditation. Then we are doing some kind of a discussion or sharing of experiences. We'll understand that. So the meditation technique itself is very simple. Let me put a couple of charts and then understand through that process. So we are doing this process called breath mindfulness meditation. So breath mindfulness meditation means to be mindful of our normal, natural breath. This is the main meditation that we will be practicing, while there may be some variances here and there, but the core foundation is the breath mindfulness meditation, which is observing our normal, natural breath. Our goal of a meditation is to empty our mind. And Gautama Buddha discovered this technique of observing our natural breath, called also Anapanasati, 2500 years ago. And with that meditation, he understood that one can empty the mind completely, very, very quickly. And then Brahmarshi Patriji, my master, who has significantly created awareness and has been teaching this simplest form of meditation technique now for over 30 years. So breath mindfulness meditation technique, very, very simple to practice. It only takes a minute to learn. The posture is what you see in this picture. You can sit on the floor and sit in the chair. Cross your feet, cross your fingers into fingers, close your eyes. 3 things you do. If you are wearing specs, remove the specs. Remove any smartwatches you may have. Not required. So close your eyes, cross your fingers into fingers, cross your feet. And the process is to observe our natural breath. So take any point in your nose, maybe tip, root, middle, anywhere, and then observe that breath is going in and coming out, going in, coming out. Initially, for some people, it might have difficulty in finding where the breath is, but then as you start observing at any point, then you start seeing that there may be breath going in, coming out, going in, coming out. And then initially, for some people, it is very long breath. The breath may be starting from maybe chest, maybe stomach. For some, it may be starting somewhere just at the neck. But wherever that is, but just observe your own rhythm of the breath. Observe your natural rhythm of your own breath. Longer or shorter, doesn't matter, but then observe it. Observe that breath is going in, coming out. We don't manipulate the breath. We don't hold the breath. No forceful inhalation or exhalation. Right? No rechika, kumbhakas, no none of those, just the natural breath. The idea is that we want to get very comfortable in the body, and we observe what is very natural that is there. And as we observe, and just the way right now where you're all breathing, and all of us breathe, but we are very unmindful, we don't know that we are breathing. So when we are holding on to this natural breath, and slowly we forget that we are observing the breath, and slowly as we observe the breath is also becoming lighter and shorter and lighter and shorter for many people. As it becomes lighter, so ultimately there will be nothing to observe, and that's the time we would have completely become empty of all thoughts in our mind. So our goal is to empty the mind, and then we do that by not by fighting the thoughts, not by saying, okay, I'm thinking, and I want to cut down the thoughts. No. Instead, we do that by observing our breath. When you're observing, on an average, a person has about 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day for a normal person. Somebody is very stressful, anxious, can be even as high as 90,000 thoughts a day. 1,000 thoughts, 90,000 thoughts. So when you have 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day, so naturally when you're observing the breath, the only thing is that within a few seconds we will get thoughts. Don't get discouraged, because it is a common process. It's part of the meditation process to keep having these recurring thoughts. The thoughts will come about a project, about what I'm going to do today. All of that will be there. What will I experience this meditation? Why people have said so many things. The thoughts will come. So drop the thought by coming back to observing the breath. It is a natural phenomenon. So your attention will wander off into thought, and then bring your attention back to the breath. Maybe a few seconds you succeed. Immediately it goes back to the thought. You will probably realize after 2 minutes of thinking. Until then we don't realize, because we are in the thought. But with the moment you realize you're thinking, and then you come back to observing the breath. So this is a process we continue to do during the whole duration of the meditation. You wander to the thought, you bring it back, your attention back to the breath. Right? It is not an expectation that you are going to be empty-minded completely even after decades of practice, because the mind will be there as long as we are in reality, as long as existence, as long as we are living this life in the society, in samsara. So we will have thoughts. So it is a natural state. So it is a myth to say that it's not because of I cannot do meditation because I can't go empty mind. It is a myth. It's not required. So instead, all we have to do is to keep bringing our attention back to the breath, and then put your attention there for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10, 20, whatever that duration is, just to keep observing. So over a period, slowly we might increase our ability to put our attention on the breath for longer and longer duration. Right? Over a period, it's fine. But even if you do for a few seconds, there is a lot of benefits. That's why we observe the breath, and when we go back to the thought, come back to the breath. Simple. Right? And as you're observing, whatever that you experience during meditation, whatever that you experience in your body or outside around, be an observer, be a witness. Do not interpret. That's what is a mindfulness meditation. Breath mindfulness means be observant of the breath, nothing else. And along the way, you might have any experience in your body. Don't interpret it, don't analyze them. Instead, be a witness and say, okay, what's happening? Just be a witness to the sensations of the body, to the thoughts in the mind, to any visions, to any things that you feelings you might experience. Be a witness. Do not interpret with anything that you know of the past. Oh, I'm sitting for a long time. I generally have backache, so it must be coming because of that. That itself is also an interpretation. Oh, I just had some breakfast, so I'm feeling a little drowsy because the food is there. Interpretation. Meditation leads us to infinity of experiences. So you cannot box that, and then so do not interpret, and then just observe it. And then at the end of the meditation, we'll recollect those, and then we make a record of them. We'll talk about it. So right, Fred. So this is breath mindfulness meditation, our main segment of meditation that we're going to do it. Now, before it's called also mind coherence. When we are emptying our mind, then meditation is making our mind very coherent, and then, or in the wakeful state, makes our mind coherent to work effectively across the entire brain, works beautifully. Now, there is another process which we'll do before we start that breath mindfulness meditation, is called heart elevation process. The heart elevation process is to feel a heightened emotion in our heart. And a heightened emotion is love, gratitude, compassion, or a kindness, adventure, any of those emotions where you feel connected with somebody else, or to something, or to this nature, or to an animal. These emotions are positive, they've got lots of energy, and they make us connect with others. So we do this process called heart elevation, because when you do heart elevation process where you feel that emotion, and then how do you feel that emotion? By reliving a memory of your memory from your life of the past. Meeting somebody after a long time, somebody the most closest person to you, so meeting them after a long time at the entrance of your doorway or at the airport. And then how do you feel? Spending time with a child, walking in that beautiful park, and then always feeling one with it. So that are thanking somebody deeply because they touched you in many ways. Being compassionate about where you are doing service work, and then you're doing this charity or somewhere, and then somebody has this deep problem where you taught them meditation. Now they tell you, and then you had this compassionate heart to them and you poured out. So whatever that moment in your life that you had, think about it, and then fill up your heart with that emotion. We're going to do this for a few minutes. The idea is to be in that emotional state as much as possible. Every thought and every feeling is energy. We'll understand this more and more. Every thought and every feeling is energy. There is an actual electromagnetic signature produced every time we think, every time we feel. And the feelings are much stronger in terms of energy, and that energy is what we're sending out into the body, into our cell membranes, as well as into these surroundings, into that field called the quantum energy field. So as we send out a signal, then naturally that signal is working towards attracting what we are looking to have in our life. But most importantly, the reason we're doing this process is that scientifically they found that when you are into heightened emotion, that it is automatically signaling the brain to slow down. It's signaling the brain to slow down. So by doing this heart elevation process and trying to feel that emotion for a few minutes, and then we slip into this breath mindfulness meditation or anapanasati meditation, then we are going into an empty state much sooner and stronger and deeper. This process is simple. You're putting your hands on your chest area, the way the person is there in the picture. You don't have to sit on the floor. You can sit on the chair the way you're sitting. Cross your feet as before, and keep your hands on your chest area. You can just one hand is good enough, or two hands, whatever you feel comfortable. With your eyes closed, initially you take a long, slow, relaxing breaths. Slow and relaxing breath, not any speed breath. Slow, relaxing breaths, like long, slow breaths. So slow breath, and then relax, and then feel your heart. And then I'm going to guide you. As part of my guidance, you can follow my guidance, and then recollect those one or two events of your life where you can fill up your heart with that love or gratitude. Any one emotion or two emotions. You can't experience too many. But when you recollect those events, then you might start feeling. If you didn't feel anything, it's okay. Again, everything comes with the practice, and also the heart elevation takes some time for people. But it's important that we understand the process and practice it, right? So you recollect that event and then feel that emotion, extend that emotion by visualizing more of it. If you are a person who naturally are able to extend that emotion without thinking about a past, because of the nature of the work itself is sort of causing you to be that, and that's great. You don't have to recollect something. You just go into that heightened emotion. Thinking great about all the people that you have. You're a leader. your whole team, you care so much about them, and then every day you visualize about a great future for them. That itself is extending that love and compassion for them, right? You could think of that way too. Or the community you're serving, you can think about that. But feel that emotion and then heightened emotion for a few minutes, dear friends. And then we go into the breath mindfulness meditation. That's wonderful, dear friends. Our experience of first meditation, we did meditate for about 30 minutes or maybe slightly longer. As we are closing down, this process that we followed today, the heart elevation, breath mindfulness, anapanasati, then we're winding down with gratitude, is a sequence that we'll follow every day. We're going to do it for longer. Many might have questions around, I could not concentrate, I've been thinking, I've been getting thoughts. It's very natural. All I wanted to say is, every meditation is a great meditation. Always good, because we're going in transcending time and space. So let's listen into Padma Shri Karthikeyan Sir, former CBA director. Let's take his message and then conclude our meditation today with messages from a couple of other guests. Padma Shri Karthikeyan Sir has been an epitome of service. While he's been highly successful in his career as a director of CRPF, and then finally as CBI director was investigating Rajiv Gandhi's case, assassination. And then more importantly, Sir has been a spiritual ambassador, and then very been socially been active with so many organizations, dozens and dozens of organizations. So it's great to have Sir has been a strong proponent of meditation, and let's take his message on this program. Sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear
My
you.
dear masters, as they say in the Pyramid Society movement, Patriji will say my dear gods, but I would say my dear meditators. My heartiest congratulations to all of you who have chosen to start what I would call as Dhyana Yajna. It has become almost a festival now. It has become a joyous experience. And to be very brief, when we say yoga, of course all over the world now, they are grateful to India. When we say yoga, we think of Adi Yogi, Shiva, and Patanjali Yoga Sutra and all that. Yoga includes, of course, pranayama and meditation, dhyana. But the emphasis has been yoga means yogasanas. When we think of meditation, dhyana, think of Bhagavan Buddha, Lord Buddha. After a lot of struggle, he got enlightenment through a technique called Vipassana Meditation. 2,500 years back, but that system went out of India and was preserved in many other places like Burma. In Burma, Guruji, what we call Satyanarayana Goenka ji, a prominent diamond merchant, he happened to learn Vipassana to get over his incurable headache. But ultimately he found it is just not only the physical thing, but it is far more important. So on being directed by his Burmese guru, he came back to India, bringing back Vipassana meditation to the land of its birth after 2,500 years. It's about 78 years back. It's a very tough course, but then he went from door to door trying to teach people. The joy he got out of that, that's about 78 years back. Now, to make the long story short, it's already about 30, 40, and about 40, 50 countries it is there, some centers in India. In a very critical moment in my life, I went to Vipassana meditation. It was amazing. I came out of that. I was both in the director, CBI and also CRPF. I wrote to the director CBI and the CRPF telling this should be introduced to every police officer. They said 10 days is too long, can we shorten it? And Guruji Satyan Goenkaji became close to me. He said, it's not possible. In my time, it was 3 months. I brought it down to 6 weeks. Now it can be reduced below less than 10 days' time. So a master, Patriji, about 40 years back, he went into this course, though he did not complete the whole course. He found the first 3 days of Vipassana meditation, that is Anapanasati, just observing the breath alone is good enough. Then he simplified the whole thing into 3 days of the Anapanasati meditation. He realized the value and went from door to door teaching people, because he said, the joy I got, it should be spread to everybody. That's about 40 years back. Now the rest is a long story. You will learn more and more next few weeks' time from Chandra himself. So now it has spread to millions of people around all over. One master, I call him Barefoot Master, very simple person. And he started teaching people and created many masters like Chandra now. Now these people, the young masters, Chandrasekhar and Shreyans Daga and Dr. Newton and others, made it more interesting, adding not only the meditation, there was also a lot of wisdom into that, a lot of learning from Patriji and their own reading the books on the subject from all over the world, and made it very, very interesting and very beneficial also. Now, in the last few months' time during the lockdown period, though I have come to know Patriji last 20 years, I used to go to their programs in Pyramid Valley because he was inviting. But realized the value last few months' time, last few courses of Chandra and his wonderful wife, Vani, they were good friends, so just to encourage them, I joined first. Then when I realized it is really powerful, as usual, I wanted to share what I found. I wrote to a few people telling this is very useful and very interesting. That's all I said. But some people who value my words, like Dr. S.V. Balasubramaniam, he joined and he told me this is amazing. And in turn, many people joined, like Dr. Ramani, Dr. Balasubramaniam, many industrialists, many doctors. Now you see among the audience here, you see great people like the great publisher S.K. Gai, the senior bureaucrat Mara Nambia, and many more people. So for the first time I sent a message behind my name. Within 24 hours, 1,000 people joined. Now here I say more than 1,000 people are there, both on the Zoom and otherwise also. So you will see, it is amazing. The benefit people get is amazing. But after 40 days, I have not found anyone who has not got the benefit. There are many who say their lives are transformed, and everyone had some benefit. At least, we can divide your lifetime also now. Before meditation, you are starting. You can see before meditation, after 40 days after meditation, everyone, if you sincerely following it with some faith in that, you will find there's a lot of change in life after meditation, after 40 days time. That is the power of this meditation. Everybody knows I'm associated with all the spiritual movements. All the masters have been very, very good to me, and I've experienced some of them. Very valuable, all of them are there. But why I lent my name openly into this is because I found this is the simplest form of meditation. A lot of learning, a lot of benefit, and particularly now we are talking about meditation. Buddha CEO Foundation, they have started. and very big masters. I want you to go into the website, a beautiful website they have created. I think about that you will know, and more you know. It's the being formal, but even now it's very interesting to go through that. The idea is that now Chandra himself, as SVB and Dr. Ramani has said earlier, he himself just briefly said, more you will come to know. He found this is life transforming. His life is transformed. Like many others, like Newton, Science, and others, they're all very successful people today. They will explain how, by following this simple meditation, there's so much of transformation in their life, personal life, business life, family life, everything. So they thought they must spread this knowledge to everybody, because what is the purpose of life is, every one of us, whatever we may do in life, is to be happy and to share this happiness with as many others as possible in our life. Ultimately, that is the purpose, whatever you may do, whether it's power or money or fame and all that. Ultimately, every one of us wants happiness and peace of mind. After that, we want our family to be happy, we want others to be happy. And it is a great service they are doing now by spreading this mindful meditation, simplest form of Anapanasati meditation. And it's amazing, friends, but we are fortunate to come into this path now. That way you are fortunate, lucky, but your wisdom depends upon your continuing it every day. 1.5 hours, 2 hours a day, after 24 hours, it is not, and it's going to be of great benefit to you in every way. It's I want to, in every way, at least, you will find there are doctors who are, I'm quoting them, you will hear some of them. They say many of their illnesses they got over. Doctors, senior doctors, experienced doctors, business executives, they say we got like people like SVB, Ramani, and Balasubramanian, they're all eminent people. Now, people like FK Guy, the great publisher, they published 10,500 books, known. They're all there. I have not seen them. There is no time for me to go over all of them. I can't name them. They are young ladies from all. It is not just nothing to do with religion. You will see from people from many religions coming and telling how their lives are transformed and all that. Mr. Madhavan Nambiar is already a very enlightened soul, also with Swami Rama and others. They have held very high positions. And he said, this is amazing. It is not new. So it is because, it's not only that, you will find Chandra learned a lot, a lot of books, so the wisdom every day in his talk, just not only stay, don't stay for meditation and go away. What he says before the meditation and follows after the meditation is also equally valued. Because, we don't have time. Many of us have not done much of reading. But like Patriji, reading thousands of books, they also bring down the gist of wisdom and give it to us in beautifully in a few moments' time. So a lot of learning in every respect. I find it's very enjoyable, interesting. My compliments to you. I will only say now it's already the time is up. Please don't miss the meditation. 1.5 hours. I know getting up in the morning, some of us are not used to it. First 2-3 days you will find it difficult, but you will find it's easy. You save a lot of time. The rest of the day you are very, very able, alert. You are able to do much more in life. Peace within the body, mind, and soul of the individual. Peace and harmony in the family. Your efficiency goes up. Your health improves. So many other things. Beyond that, you will experience yourself. Please be on the path. I will more of it later on. I think it's time for me to conclude to say good luck to you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karthikeyan sir. Your validation and certainly that introduction about Goenkaji, bringing in the meditation, this simple Anapanasati meditation, introducing it in Patriji, really amplifying it significantly by simplifying and simplifying further, means a lot. I think that's reassuring to many participants. And as Sar said, We'll experience it in a few days, certainly, and then when we continue the journey for all 40 days, we will see the real difference, the magic of meditation that actually happens when we continue it for a few days non-stop. And we have many more that we will listen in to their experiences, their messages tomorrow. Madhavan Nambiyaji, Gaisa, and many more who are there, that because of the time paucity, so we will take your messages, sir, tomorrow. Thangaveluji is there, and then during the course of the meditation program, we will take the messages. And before you go, we'll wrap this up in 5 minutes. So I want to say that while I talk about the structure of the program tomorrow, it's important that you all have been assigned into multiple groups, WhatsApp groups. That WhatsApp group is the window to this program. So if you are part of it, so you've been sent emails where you are sent an invite to join one of the WhatsApp groups. So we created 13 WhatsApp groups. Each one has a set of people, maybe more than 100 and then more, right? And there is a team facilitator assigned, one teacher assigned to each group, so that you can have direct interaction. So like here we couldn't do any interactions. We'll do some sharing some days, but most days where we can't do sharing, but you are doing the sharing in the WhatsApp group. So feel free to connect it with that teacher or facilitator in the group. That's one. And then I will be sending a daily newsletter as a way to connect. And rest of the parts of the program we will listen in tomorrow. There are various other things too that we introduce over the period of 40 days. Meditation is one side, and then learning new knowledge, and then totally reprogramming our subconscious so that we create a great future for ourselves is essentially the essence of this program. And so we will understand all of that we do during the next few days. And certainly we will listen into the message for various other eminent individuals who are practicing meditation now for years to months, and then we'll listen to them also along the way as an inspiration. And with that, Ramesh, do you have a Surendra?
Surendra is joining another meeting.
Okay. So we'll listen to him tomorrow. We'll listen to him tomorrow. All right. Okay. So we'll listen to him. With that, thank you, Madhavan sir, for joining. So we will listen to your experience tomorrow and several others. So thank you all for being part of this wonderful event. A large group. We're going to have lots of energies here, and we'll meditate. And tomorrow I'm going to start meditation early, not like today, right? So we're going to be starting within the first 15 minutes and then do a full 45 minutes. And then keep sharing in your groups, and then we'll stay connected back again, and then meet you tomorrow. Thank you all.